Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the vlog, Agent Carter episode, The Atomic Job. So named after the, theft of a couple of atomic cores from warheads. This was fun. Both in seeing Whitney trying to assemble a team and Peggy trying to assemble a team. Because as it is, zero matter seems to have a consciousness of its own. In that, much like pirate Aztec gold calling to the other pieces, um, it wants to be reunited, and apparently it wants them to make more. So that was kind of a creepy thing that, Jason could pull the zero matter out of the sample into himself, and he became tangible for a moment. But later on, he just dissipated. So I wonder if that was some sort of an after effect. But he knew where the rest of her body was. Unfortunately, so did Whitney. And Whitney got it first and took all the zero matter out of it, which led to the whole idea of stealing an atomic weapon because Whitney wants to, being a scientist, replicate the experiment, so to speak, so that she can make more zero matter and probably absorb it into herself. Now, the thing is, and I mean, as someone watching, you have to start wondering whether or not this is Whitney or if it's the zero matter talking. Because it seems like the zero matter, and I know Wilkes kind of hinted that it comes from a very dark place, that it makes me wonder if it's bringing out the worst in her and it's kind of warping things. I think obviously Jason has a really excellent tether in Peggy. By the way, I really love the team that they assembled. One, that Peggy was fully confident in this team, especially when it came to Rose. And I think it's very telling that Sousa is charmed by Peggy, but he has doubts about Rose, even though Rose passed the same test as all of the field agents and went through the same training. She just hasn't been out in the field. But she has one advantage that most field agents wouldn't, which is being a woman in a world with a bunch of creepy men. And as we saw, Rose was able to turn, able to turn everything into an innuendo. It's nice to learn about Rose. But she was more than capable of fighting back against any creepy dude. Whether it was a guy trying to meet a theatrical agent who just wouldn't take a hint, or a criminal. So I really liked that. And I also liked finding out that Whitney had a past with a crime lord. Why not? Anything that actually pays reference to the more corrupt days of LA just really makes me happy. And I am so sorry about all of the color thing, but you know what? It's late, so I'm not going to be... Sorry, earlier tonight I burnt my hand. I have aloe vera on it. I've been running it underwater, but So anyways, this was one of those episodes that there was a ton of really funny stuff up front, and I told the boy partway through, I was like, I am really concerned that this episode is just going to wind up gutting me. Very poor choice of words. Very poor choice of words. Because while we wound up with, a lot of really funny moments with Peggy and the neuralizer thing and with Mr. Roxon, who remembered her, even though she was there with a wig and then the voice and everything. And I have to say, I love Haley Atwell's American accents and characters because they're like dead on. She's so good at an American accent. And I just love the little characters from, the nerdy inspector from the first season, and now we have this ditzy, ditzy secretary. But that was so funny that I was really distrusting of things later on. I did get a big chuckle at the fact that Peggy hasn't taken a vacation day since Pearl Harbor. It's funny, though completely in character. And it's nice that they found a loophole to keep Peggy in LA, even though she's had orders. Makes you wonder how they're going to keep the atomic cores without anyone finding out. I mean, I wouldn't think that it would be all that hard for Whitney to figure out that the atomic cores are at Howard's house. Just saying. I did like that Sousa, when looking for analogy for Jarvis, was like it's like pulling out a souffle. Nothing like it. But I'm not surprised that Jarvis has extremely steady hands. I would imagine that working with Howard and all of the extra duties he has would make him have some of the steadiest hands in the business. Okay, so looking forward, I don't know if there were any Easter eggs in this episode. There was just a lot I enjoyed. But looking forward, this was a pivotal episode because one, we got to see Whitney make a big mistake. We also got really big hints that all is not well in Whitney's head. So, also important. Jason is now in danger. He is back to being intangible, not just intangible, but invisible, which I had wondered because everything was going so well when the other shoe was going to drop with that one. And of course, Peggy is now recovering from the giant hole that cut through her. And of course, Sousa and Violet on the rocks. But really, as Han Solo once said, women always find out. Sousa should have been honest. I really hope it works out for those two crazy kids because you know what? I really like Sousa and Violet together. I like Violet as a character. I think she's sweet, she's strong, she's pretty much everything that was really just kind of great. Some really great stuff. I don't know if anyone other than me noticed, but Mr. Roxon's secretary was Hispanic. Yay! And it's just always nice to see that there's more stuff. If you looked at the agents in the background, there were a number of black agents. It's nice to see representation. And that's kind of the important thing about when you try to get more representation and better representation. It's not just the main characters, but it's the people in the background. Because if you see that other people exist in that time period, then it's just better. And by the way, I mean, obviously, Hispanic people existed in LA. From the beginning of LA. So I've been wondering, I'm like, where are the Hispanic people? Really? And it doesn't surprise me that Howard would keep tabs on his competitors that way. Also, it did not surprise me that Howard would have portraits of himself in every room, including Peggy's bedroom. That was a little creepy, but not out of character for Howard. All right, so looking forward, obviously Whitney has plans. She is trying to keep Chadwick under her control simply by terrifying him. I don't know. I was surprised he didn't die this episode, but I guess he's still useful. So let's see how long Chadwick's useful. I'm going to go with not very much longer because really, if it's not her, then it's going to be the council who gets him. So either way, he's definitely a dead man. All right, so I want to know what was your favorite part of the episode? And another question, which has been your favorite alias of Peggy's so far? I mean, not alias. Which has been your favorite disguise of Peggy's so far? Leave it in the comments. I might have a surprise for you. You never know. All right, you guys. Well, I think that's it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do these videos for every episode of Agent Carter. Every one. I record it after the episode airs that night, which is why the video quality is not so great. I upload it the next day. So it's kind of like a video sprint for me. So it's nice to know if you guys like it, share it, so on and so forth. That way, at least I know people are watching it. And I love comments. Comments are love. If you guys want to follow me on the internet, you can go to my website. It is whitneydrake.com. And I have links to all of my social media accounts, including Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, which is not always safe for work, but it's Tumblr. When is Tumblr safe for work? Well, you guys, I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, welcome to another edition.